Yeah, she was like, oh, my friend just told me to listen to one of her albums, and then after that I never touched music again.
Okay, wait, hold on. Who's telling anyone What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of an interesting discussion sometimes. Today, my name is Tarun Adipali, and this is another installment of Summer Sessions Season 2. So with Summer Sessions, we bring on a returning guest with a new one. In that case, today, our returning guest is Emily, and we're joined by Vida as our new guest, and also one of the regular boys, that's Haran. So, Vida, since you're new, do you want to introduce yourself first, and then we can go to Emily?
Sure. Hi, I'm Vida. What kind of intro do you want me to give?
I don't know. Where you're from, what you do, where you live, anything interesting, fun fact.
I'm from Virginia. I was born and raised in Virginia. That's where I met Emily, and so that's why I'm here. And nice. I currently live in San Francisco in California. And what I do, I'm a product manager for Meta.
Nice. Very clean.
Very solid intro. That's a very good intro.
Yeah, right? Very concise.
Amazing.
I love it.
Emily, you want to go next?
Happy to be here. I'm excited.
Oh, hello, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Emily. I am a friend of the boys and one of Vida's longtime friends from Virginia, I think.
That's correct.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Colorado, but I currently live in Arlington, Virginia, and I am currently a consultant with IBM.
Nice.
Very nice.
All right, well, I guess that pretty naturally segues into our first topic, which is, I have no idea, how you guys met. I know you met in high school, but I know nothing else about it, how you became friends and whatnot. So is there any story there?
Yeah, I can tell you my version of the story.
Okay. God, this
Let's
sounds
hear
juicy.
it, Emily.
I'm ready.
Yeah, what I remember is, so we met at Langley, and Vida actually transferred over, I think, into my junior year. So I had also only been going to the school for maybe a year, so I was still kind of new. But my very first distinct memory of meeting Vida was probably just in the cafeteria. I think we just kind of saw each other around. We had similar friends. And then one day, it was either after school or in the morning, I found her in the library, and I just sat next to her, and I just told her my whole entire boy trauma. Literally unsolicited. I was just probably just yo, let me tell you. And I just basically overshared a shit ton of details.
And Vida's ma'am, this is a library.
There's a lot to unpack here.
She was definitely just doing her homework and minding her own business, and I just popped out of nowhere. But ever since that, for some reason, she has still stayed my friend and listened to all my drama for the next 7 years.
That's
very happy to still be here, Emily. I honestly don't remember that at all. I remember distinctly hanging out in the cafeteria and hanging out in the library, but I feel when I think of high school, I just think of being your friend, and I don't remember the inception of it at all. But I just remember you being also kind of new to the school, and I had transferred out of TJ into Langley, and I was just going through such an emotional time. I was man, I need to start over. I don't have any friends. I need to find someone different like me. And I found Emily. So I was all right, this is pretty good.
Well, that's hype for you, Emily, that you didn't remember the inception of that.
Oversharing works. Keep doing it.
I still, how did you that's so crazy to me. Because I also switched high schools, and for me to approach someone new was just terribly difficult.
Yeah, I remember literally one of the first days during lunch, I didn't know where to sit because I didn't know anybody. So I literally was just pacing back and forth in the hallway with my sandwich for all of lunch, and then I just went straight to class, and I was wow, shit cannot stay the same. I need to do something about this. So very happy you approached me, Emily.
Oh my god, yeah, I think my first day at Langley, I also had the same issue where I couldn't figure out where to sit during lunch. Why is this such a common problem? Anyway, I'm pretty sure sat in the bathroom. At one point, I literally just sat in the bathroom. Really sad, but it's okay. It'd be like that.
It'd be like that.
It's daunting.
Yeah.
You like
Yeah.
walk into the cafeteria, it's literally just like 50 tables, and everyone just like turns and looks at who's coming into the door. I'm
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is too much for me.
It's really like a
Yeah.
fucking movie. It's like they do in the
Yeah,
movies.
straight
like,
up.
And when you transition halfway through like school, like everyone already has their like cliques and their
Mhm.
squads. You just like show up. It's rough.
Yeah, I remember my first like lunch at my new school. I sat down. It was like at a table far away. There was like very little people on that table, so I kind of think I stuck out like a sore thumb because I also didn't get lunch because I was too afraid to like go into the line and
Aw.
like be near other people. And then
That's so
I sat down,
sad.
and then like halfway through the lunch, or maybe it was like halfway through the week, a kid named Miles came up to me and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come like sit with me and my friends?" And I was like, "Oh, bet." And I sat with them, but they're all like the popular white kids, and I've never felt more uncomfortable in my life. Like I think I felt more comfortable like sitting by myself than with them because I tried to make conversation with them, but it was just like so disjointed. And I'd be like, "Oh, what are you guys eating?" And like to try to like start some sort of conversation. They just weren't having it because they're like, "Who is this outsider? He's not white."
Aw.
Get
well, nice of that guy to
Miles
at least
is a
reach out,
homie, though.
I guess.
Yeah, he turned out to be a
Yeah.
dickhead though.
Oh.
Yeah, he was like mean to girls and all this stuff. Yeah,
Oh.
nice guy to me though. Nice guy.
Oh.
Nice guy.
We don't love
Whatever.
that.
To me.
We
Yeah.
hate Miles.
We hate
Bye.
Cancelled.
Yeah. On that note, I wanted to ask Haran if he remembers when we first met.
Me and you? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, I remember that day. Yeah, so we were at, was it the first day of classes, I think?
Yeah, it was
I
like
guess
the first day of classes.
Because you weren't there when we like hung out at night, right? The night
Yeah,
before.
the night before I was hanging out with some high school friends.
Yeah. So yeah, the first day of classes at Virginia Tech, me, Tarun, and Helen and Harsha grab lunch at Owen's dining hall. This won't mean anything to most people, but anyway, just setting the scene. But no, I thought Tarun was cool. I remember like after like he left, like it was just me and Helen just like sitting there, and like we were just like, oh, so what do you think about this new guy? Because like we knew Harsha from high school, but we didn't know Tarun at all. I feel like you made a pretty good impression. I remember like you were talking about shoes and stuff, and I was like, oh, look, I don't know anyone that cares about shoes like this kid. I think at that time, then I was over time people started to actually do care about shoes. But no, I think it was chill. Like you fit right in immediately.
Thanks, man.
It wasn't, yeah.
I appreciate that. That's very wholesome because I actually really don't remember talking to
Oh,
him.
but I really hated you when I first met you.
No, I don't really remember talking to him. The reason we're talking about shoes is because Helen complimented my Ultra Boosts, and I was like, so like, oh my god, someone noticed. That's hype. That I think I was just like mainly talking to Helen, and you were there as well. Yeah.
Two types of friends. One who remembers, one who doesn't.
I do
Honestly,
remember.
yeah.
I do remember. Cause like Emily like kind of joined like at least our like friend group more like, or at least I met her more like junior year, and like there's one time like we were at a party and like she was pretty drunk, and I was like I wasn't drunk yet, but I was getting drunk, and then like Emily was like, "Hey, Haran, like I feel like I don't really know you," so then like she was like just telling me about her life, and I was like, "Oh, this is nice," and then she was like, and then she started talking about like Langley and like how she like kind of like what she was saying before about like how like she was like new to the school and like she just felt kind of like alone at times, and I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. Oh. But then like, that's when I felt like I really met Emily, you know, even though I talked to her a couple times before then, but yeah.
Well, thank God.
Emily's primary strategy, oversharing.
Yeah, actually, that is definitely how I make friends. By oversharing.
It's good though. That shows that you're open, and then like it facilitates the conversation.
So open. That's funny.
True, do you have any funny impressions of Emily when you first met her?
Funny
Oh,
impressions
God.
of Emily? No, I don't have any funny impressions, but like one of the first interactions I feel like I had with her was when we were at like VSA culture show, or like the Indian Student Association culture show, and we left halfway with like, it was like me, Harsha, Emily, and a couple other people, and went to go get Chick-fil-A. And I think that's like the first time I talked to you.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know what we said really. I think we were just like around each other. Yeah.
Yeah. Then we started following each other on social media, I
Yeah.
think. I just knew you as your Instagram with all like the pictures.
I'm the
All
only
your
one that didn't get
photos.
trauma dumped on. Let's go.
Trauma dumped on.
Ouch.
Or so we think. We've had a lot of drunk
That's true.
nights.
Me and you
We would
both
never
could have been
know.
blacked out. We're enough for that, I feel like.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, speaking of, or I guess going back to that guy, Miles, who was mean to women. Do you guys have any high school beefs that you remember that were like, holy shit, this is crazy? Either between yourselves or with other people. Or not even including you at all, just a funny story.
Emily, do you want to go? Or?
You can say whatever,
You can
because
go.
realistically, no one's listening
No,
to
I
this
think you
anyway.
got it.
No,
Hey,
you got
hey.
it. I already talked.
All right, that's fair. Vida.
So Emily and I,
Oh, there's actually a story here.
Let's go.
I think actually there's like a lot we could possibly say.
Oh my god.
There's so much.
Okay, I don't know about beef, but do you remember that guy who would like randomly write you letters and just like drop them off in the cafeteria and like run away?
Wait, what?
That was like it's like a flashbulb memory at this point. Like he would just like scurry up to Emily and be like, "This is for you," and then just like, what is this guy doing? And it was always like some love note, like professing, like I don't even know. It was just
Oh
too
my
much.
God.
Emily was,
Wait,
like,
when was
constantly
it?
sought after in high school. Oh, this was like
Whoa.
repeated. But Emily, I'd love to hear what you remember of the situation.
Yeah, exactly that. I feel like I kind of like blocked it out of my memory. The same guy still sometimes likes my Facebook photos. So
Oh God,
Oh.
that's harassment.
Wait, did you ever talk to him?
I think like if anything, we were like friends. I was just like, because I was the new girl, I ended up befriending like a lot of just like random people,
Mhm.
him being one of them.
As you do.
Yeah, as I do. And I'm not really sure like how it started, but it's like I definitely like I was like in a relationship, like I was dating someone else, and like this guy was just very persistent about his feelings for me. I remember he gave me like a rock or something. But
like what kind of rock do you remember?
I feel like it was like a heart-shaped stone or something. I don't know what I did to
Aw.
Dude, man's chiseled out a whole heart from a rock, bro.
I don't know about that. No, but like the instance that Vita's talking about, that's like the one thing I like distinctly remember. Like me, Vita, and like the rest of our friends are just chilling in the cafeteria in the morning. You know, we're like trying to do our homework and shit.
Yeah.
And he literally just like pulls up, like slides it over, and then runs off. But the letter was not actually a love letter. It was him like professing his love and also how angry he was that like I wouldn't like him back.
Oh.
So it was kind of like a breakup note, if you will, also because he was basically just like, oh, like you don't like me back, like I hate you.
Oh my God.
I don't know if that's
And this is
exactly
high
what
school,
it
so
was.
like
Yeah,
That's a
but
little
that was
crazy.
imagine
legit.
getting that at like 7 a.m. Like Jesus. That would ruin my whole day.
Yeah, I was just like
Oh my god. Wait, so you like, but so I guess like you never really talked to him about all this, or?
No, not about like his feelings, I guess.
Yeah.
If I did, I don't remember. But
Damn.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So sorry, guy, dude.
I know who we're
High
bringing
school
on for
wild.
summer sessions next year.
Oh God.
Oh.
Yeah. So that was the time.
Ron, do you have any stories?
Any story about high school?
Yeah. Like when you
think I
delivered love letters and whatnot?
I've definitely given my fair share of letters of the sort, but not like that.
Okay.
It wasn't bipolar letters, I guess I would say. Yeah, I was a confused individual in high school. I'll leave it at that. But no like real drama involving me, I would say. Yeah.
Well, you were pretty into the TJ like prom asking scene, right? Like you were pretty
What do you-
didn't you do a
ask-
lot for those?
Scene.
Yeah. I mean, like at TJ, like the askings were always like super like. Well, they didn't have to be, but I guess like I just saw other people like do like a lot, and you're like, oh, I guess I should also level up. So like, it felt like every asking was super stressful. Looking back at it now, like I hate like how stressed out I would get before each asking. Even like because like if you think about it, it's like it's so pointless. Because like the girl that you're gonna ask already knows that she already knew you're gonna ask her like 3 months in advance.
Yeah.
And like you already know, like no matter, even if you fuck it up, like you're probably still like, she'll probably still say yes. So like it doesn't, like the stakes are very low, but yet like at the time it felt like a lot.
True.
Yeah, it is. It's whatever, I guess. It was fun to watch, I would say. There's some good aspects that I saw, yeah.
Bro, I swear people pulled up like a Bollywood dance routine, like with like 20 dudes and like.
Yeah. No, people were going crazy.
What is
man.
this production?
Not even just for like, not even prom. Some people go crazy for like homecoming too. Like I know like promposals was like a whole thing, but there was like homecoming proposal. I don't know. Like they had that kind of level stuff too.
It was like a spectacle. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I remember there was like a Facebook page that would like record people asking and then put them up on Facebook so other people could see them too. This is so extra. Like just ask.
Well, to be fair, I always tell Haran, but TJ kids were crazy on Facebook, bro. I think from whatever 2012 to 2016, all I saw on Facebook was just TJ kid bullshit.
Dude, yeah. Probably half the reason Facebook's still around today. We carried that shit on our backs.
Yeah, no, we abused Facebook. We used every facet of Facebook, I would say.
No, Vida and I were on Facebook too much. I just like, I'm like remembering like all this repressed shit right now.
It's coming to the surface.
Would you say high school had, like, if you're looking back, like, do you think high school had better memories than college, or college had better memories than high school?
Oh, I would say college for sure.
Like, not even close?
Yeah.
Me too, yeah.
I think it's tough for me. I think, like, their lows in high school were a lot lower, but I feel like there were a lot of good memories in high school I look back on. But college was fun. I think, like, the only reason to, like, I feel so cheated out of like senior year that like I kind of hate to look back in college. I feel like we missed out on like 3-4 months, but for what it was, like it was definitely a lot of fun. But I guess did we mention that you went to UVA, Vida? You didn't come to Tech with us.
Yes, I went to UVA.
Yeah.
So.
Highlight the small rivalry.
Just a minor rivalry.
How's that? Did you enjoy your undergrad? Undergrad experience.
It was all right. I feel like with big schools like UVA, and I don't know if you guys feel this way about Tech, but it's like you can't really make a judgment on the whole school because you just like end up falling into smaller communities like based on your major or your friend group or whatever, and then your entire experience is just colored by like that single group,
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think Emily and I both experienced this, and I'm sure you guys did too, but like you have to make a lot of time to like find your groups because you end up falling into the wrong ones a couple times in college, and there's just so many people that it's like really hard to find like your group by the end. But it was fun for what it was worth. But yeah, I think I could have like gone back and done it like 30 different ways. So
yeah, I feel that. I think that goes like kind of hand in hand with how I feel about high school, where it's like freshman year, because I switched high schools after sophomore year. So freshman year, I was just trying to like figure out what the fuck was going on. Then sophomore year, I finally started to make some semblance of like friends and be part of some groups. And then I left. And then that repeated junior year and senior year. And then I left. So
it never felt like a complete experience.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like two like middle schools, I guess. I don't know. Like yeah. It was just too short.
Totally feel that. Yeah.
Damn, sure, we definitely bonded over that drunk at some point.
Yeah, after Emily talked to me and like she could tell that I wasn't relating that much, she went straight to her. She started screaming.
Yeah, because I think that's why college was really important to me. It was like the first time I felt like I had like a solid group of friends, even if it was like not the right group for a while. Like, it was really nice to just kind of have, like a squad or like people to fall back on. And obviously I got really lucky with finding Clockwise as well. But even with high school, like I got lucky with like having Vida stick with me throughout all these years, because I literally only talked to like 2 people, including Vida, from high school. So it's nice to have friends that you grow with and keep along the way.
Yeah. Emily, you were in a sorority though. Like, did you make a lot of friends through that? I guess by that reaction, maybe you didn't. I don't know.
Oh my god. Yeah. I don't know what I was doing. I think I was doing what a lot of confused POCs go through sometimes, where you kind of want to be like white for some reason. I don't even know if like, I don't even describe it as that. I feel like maybe deep down, like I still kind of like felt that way, where I was like, oh, I still need to assimilate. But I guess, like, because I had grown up in very, like, diverse environments, for some reason my brain was like, I need to be around white people. But at the same time, like, it did seem like a good way to make more female friends, and, like, it was, like, advertised that way. It's just, like, funny because, like, when I went through that, like, when I went through the recruitment process, like, I think that actually changed my life, because I used to be very quiet and shy, like, much more shy than I am now, and like because I went through that process, I like learned how to talk to people.
That's nice.
That's like the only good thing that the sorority experience gave me. But in terms of making friends, like I actually like literally only befriended other people who are also like Asian or persons of color, which is kind of weird. Like that was like the first time I like actually noticed myself only gravitating towards people that I felt like I could relate to, and it was like such a weird like experience, I guess, to like kind of just watch that happen to myself. And then like literally like all of like the friends I made with anyone else, like they were all like super fake, and like I didn't like it. And definitely like my final straw was when I like started like my last straw was when I started to realize that like everyone was just very like narrow-minded, and even like you know lacked culture for so it was just like hard to like make friends, because like I think I started to realize that like my culture was a really big part of who I am, and I think you all know that. And so when I couldn't like bring that up with people around me, or like people who like claimed to be my friends, like I was just like, this sucks. Fuck this, and I'm paying for it, fuck that.
That's the worst part. That's how they really stick it to you.
What was the worst part about living in the sorority house? Was it ever like disgusting?
Honestly, like sorority houses are definitely a lot cleaner than like frat houses for sure.
I put the very low bar, but
also because there's like a lot more rules. You can't party because of the patriarchy. But I literally think the worst part was just, again, like feeling like I couldn't be Asian. Like there was like one time I was like making ramen, and it wasn't just like the normal, it was probably like the Shin ramen or like some like udon ramen, not your normal Maruchan. And they were like, oh my god, what is that? And I was like, it's ramen.
Fuck you mean?
Girl, read a book. What do you mean?
And there's like, this is like also like the year that Crazy Rich Asians came out, and like we were just like talking about, and it was like I was always like listening really intently to the way that these girls would like talk about the movie. But I remember one of the girls was like, oh, I didn't realize that Asians could live in Australia, or like the
Dude,
UK.
what? There's so many Asians in Australia, bro.
Because like the main lead is like, I think he's from like the UK or something. She's like, oh, I didn't know Asians could be there. And I was like, hello?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I think the main guy is like, I think he was like born in Malaysia, moved to like Singapore, or to move to like London or something. But yeah. So I was just like, like, do you think they just exist here and like China? Like what? It was whack. So I think that's what I hated the most. And like everyone would like gather in the living room to watch like The Bachelor, and like I thought that shit was so stupid. Yeah.
I feel you. Yeah, like recently I went to go watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, and while we were leaving the movie theater, there were some like white people behind us, and they were like, oh my god, like that was like a lot. And then, but they said it in like a way that like made it seem like it was like a shit movie. Whereas like I think that's like one of the best movies I've seen in like the past like 5 to 10 years. Because they just don't understand it, you know what I mean? But I guess I can't blame them too much. They're just like, this is the world they live in. I guess they don't really communicate with people like us that often. But anyway, Vida, I know you were in a dance group at UVA. How did that help you get in tune with your culture or anything like that?
I was in a dance group. The issue was the dance group was like a Bollywood dance group, and I'm not Indian. So I like had a similar experience where like going to UVA, I was like, oh my god, this is so white. Like it felt like Langley all over again. And what my like frame of reference was like what TJ was like. And I was like, all of my friends are brown and Asian, and I like liked it that way. Even if I didn't have like Persian friends specifically. So when I got to UVA, I was like, I need to like put myself in all of the cultural groups. So like I did Sharara, which is the dance team. But then I just felt like I was outside, like an outsider again, but of like a minority culture. I was like, I still don't relate to you guys. Like they start speaking in like Hindi or like Telugu. I'm like, I still don't get it. I'm still not involved.
Yeah.
So after a year, I was like, fuck that. Like, I like dancing, but I'm going to go do dancing like somewhere else. And I joined like Persian Cultural Club. And then that's where I started to feel a lot more comfortable. And I think it's like not even a matter of like only hanging out with people who are like you, but it's like having a group that is like you, so you feel comfortable being yourself in other groups too. It's like you're an insider somewhere, so you feel comfortable in other places.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good take.
But it was fun for what it was. It was fun. Yeah, we like did some traveling and like competitions and stuff, so it was good.
Where'd you travel to?
You know, nothing crazy. We went to Jersey. We went to South Carolina. We had a performance at George Mason. We only did that one because we knew we would get first, so we did get first. So like minor like East Coast places like that.
Did you ever dance in Indonesia?
I
asked
incredible segue.
I asked that because
That's a common question that's not a person would ask.
Wow, how did you know? I did not dance in Indonesia, but I just got back from a 2-week trip there, and that was a lot of fun.
Where in Indonesia did you go?
We spent a week in Jakarta, which is the capital, and then we spent a week in Denpasar, which is like the major city in the island of Bali. So we were doing like research on fintech. So we had like some meetings with like some major like companies there, and then we spent a week just kind of like fucking around and nice villas and stuff. So
so it was like through work.
Yeah. Facebook was like whining and dining us. We stayed at a Ritz. We stayed at like an Intercontinental.
Okay.
It was, like,
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, the
That's so
service was like nothing I've ever experienced. I like picked up a plate to start serving myself food during dinner, and I would have like 3 people like run at me and be like, "Can I help you?" And they would like ask me to like take the plate so they can like serve for me. I was like, "I can just do it. It's okay." It was like to the point of it being like a little uncomfortable. I was like, "Oh my god." But yeah, it was really fun. It was like one of those things that's like fun to experience once.
That's crazy. Wow.
I'm so jealous.
Yeah, me too.
Should I start working for Facebook for Meta?
You can do it too. But yeah, it was cool. Jakarta was not as like touristy as Bali, which I guess is expected.
Yeah.
But it was to the point where like we would walk around and people would like turn, like literally crank their necks to be like, who the hell are these people? Like, what are they doing in Jakarta? There's this one point where we were just like doing all the touristy stuff that we could find. So we were at like some national monument. And then this like woman comes up with her baby to like one of the other PMs who are like on our trip. His name's Matt, and he's like literally just like a regular white dude. But she like walked up to him and she was like, "Can you please hold my baby? I want to take a picture for good luck." And that was like, all right, sure. And that happened like multiple times. Like people would come up and be like, "Can I please take a picture of you?" And I was like, this is something I've never experienced.
Holy
before.
shit,
It's
you're celebrities.
weird. Yeah.
Damn, bro. All expenses paid trip, and you got famous there. Like,
Oh my god.
Vida goes back in 5 years. There's like posters of her in Jakarta. Like she's a star.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've been to like an island in Indonesia, like a Club Med island, but like I haven't actually like I wanted to go like to see like actual Indonesia, but maybe at some point because I've been to like Malaysia and like I've had like Indonesian food there, and like the language is similar. So I feel like I'm sure the culture is definitely a little bit different, but like there's definitely some similarities, and I'd like to explore it at some point. But
That's really cool. Yeah. I feel like a lot of Southeast Asia, specifically like the islands, are pretty similar.
Yeah.
Ron, you're going back soon, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Malaysia next week, actually. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. I guess quick background for the podcast, and I'm not sure if everyone here knows, but I'm originally from Singapore. But if you're born in Singapore, you have to join the army for 2 years, like once you turn 18, which I didn't. I instead went to college here in the US. And since I didn't, I'm technically not allowed to go back to the country ever. So the alternative is I have family in Malaysia. So like whenever my like family wants to go to Singapore, I just go to Malaysia, and then like they meet with me in Malaysia later. So it's not ideal, but I mean Malaysia, like in terms of like food, it's literally pretty much the same, if not more options than Malaysia. The only problem is like I have some family members in Singapore that like don't really travel out of the country, so can't really see them. But
Wow.
yeah, not
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Good thing you can still get Migo Rang though.
I can still get Migo Rang, that is true, yeah. Yeah, that's my fun fact. Whenever I introduce myself to people, like I'm an international fugitive, and then they walk and then they quickly walk away.
When like say in a few years, like you just like win the lottery, right? You like money's not an issue no more, right?
Yeah.
But like you really want to like get into shape. Would you go back? And like, cause like 2 years there,
I think they won't accept me though. Like they'll probably send me to jail.
Oh, they're straight to jail.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, what if you do like an Uncle Iroh like character arc where you go to jail and you just become huge, and you eat like one bite of an apple and you break out?
Then what was the point? I could have just not gone.
But then you won't have the drive to do as many like push-ups and shit.
You're not making a great case for this. I don't know.
It fell apart after I realized I was going to prison.
Yeah, but actually, I was recently in Vancouver, and when we were there, we were talking to a family friend, and they know like a family member that their son, also similar situation to me, like where he was born in Singapore and then moved to Canada when he was like 1 or 2. But they managed to appeal to the government like a couple years back, and he recently went back with no problems. So we're gonna write a letter to the government and send it, and like I don't know, just see if it works. We don't know. Mm-hmm. The thing is, like, I could just go to Singapore and they could just be like, they could just tell me like it's all okay, and then I go there and they just fuck me over, right? Like I don't know.
Yeah,
like it's like you're just putting your trust. I don't know.
They like bait you into the country.
Yeah, they could honestly.
Well, honestly, once they see you, I'm thinking it's just gonna be like, no, we don't need him. Look at him.
Look at this dude.
Look at this guy. That's crazy though. Why would they just like? What's the point of putting you in jail for 2 years? Like if they don't like utilize you for the military or anything anyway, right?
I think it's just like
it's just principle.
Yeah, I think it's just point of principle. Like I think like Singapore is pretty strict with their laws. Yeah, usually. Yeah.
What does their military do? Like they're just such a small island. I guess.
I know, right? Like they don't need that much protection.
I don't know where they go.
Like literally, I guess like the only way they would get attacked, aside from like the water surrounding them, would just be like Malaysia, because that's the only land that is attached to them. But like I don't think that would ever happen. So it's just like why are they so worried? I don't know. I think the army there is like meant to like build like camaraderie amongst like the young men in the country, and like build like a sense of nationalism kind of. I'm assuming. So like it means, I think it means more when you're there, like you're living there. But like for me, it would have made no sense to go back, serve 2 years, and then come back to the States, because it's like I'm not really getting. I mean, like I'm sure like I would have gotten like a good mindset, and like I'm sure I would have been like pretty like muscular. I don't know. Like I've been in a good like physical. I've been in a good physical shape, but like in terms of like me coming back, I would just be like 2 years behind all my friends, and I would just feel like kind of weird. It would be like high school for some of you guys, I guess.
Gotta make new friends in the army.
And on that note, we'll take an ad break.
What?
I don't know.
Welcome back from the ad. Vida was like sharing some of the conversation for a while. Emily's been kind of quiet, if you ask me. Yeah, that's right. I said it. We all were thinking it, right? But I said it. Okay. But something I've noticed over the past year while I was in California and looking at Instagram was Emily was going to a bunch of these concerts. Just not these concerts. I don't want to say these concerts. She's been going to a bunch of concerts. And, as a person that likes to go to concerts but haven't been to many, I just wanted to hear your experiences and which are the best ones you've been to in the past year. Which one stood out?
Oh my gosh. I'm not going to lie. I kind of forgot that I did that. It was a fever dream. Because I literally never went to concerts before college. I guess I kind of just went to ones that were free at school. So this past year, honestly, it's Vincent's fault. He changed me. But yeah, in terms of the best concerts I've gone to, so I like this artist named Jeremy Zucker. I'm sure you guys probably heard of him. And I guess it was just a really cool concert to me because I went with my brother and he's a huge fan of Jeremy, so he was screaming all of his songs. And I just really liked his energy, and I think what I didn't realize I liked a lot about going to what I guess I didn't realize I liked about music and what made me want to go to more concerts is I love seeing people play instruments, specifically the guitar, and I love seeing them like, you know, freak out and like shred the guitar, and like I just love seeing all that in person. And so it was really cool to just hear all of like Jeremy's music live, and I also just really like when artists do like some things different with their songs when they like perform it live. So they'll have like different riffs and like runs, and like it's just like really nice. But I guess like also for Jeremy, he has like this song that I listened to a lot in college. It's called like good to me, good for you. It's with like Chelsea Color, but it's like it's kind of like a sad song, and or no, it's called like Good to Me. And during quarantine, like when COVID hit, and I used to take like walks to campus, and I would like walk around campus and do like a sad girl walk. And on the last one I did, that song played, and it's like basically says like, oh, like you were good to me. And so I was literally like, oh my god. So when he played that at his concert, I started like sobbing. And so like a lot of the concerts experiences that I've had that I've really enjoyed are ones that like have really just like hit me because like I like really like the artist's music, and like their music like meant something to me. And so another really good one that I went to, I can't believe I like didn't put this one first, but I saw Umi.
Yeah, but that was my guess for your favorite.
Yeah, sorry, I like definitely just blinked out. That's my best one. Sorry, Jeremy. Umi is my best one.
She told such a heartfelt story.
Okay, but I have another one.
Yeah, okay.
Umi, oh my god, I feel like I just like discovered her randomly somehow too. Like her like original singles just like popped up on my Spotify, and like she had this like really sad song that I listened to all the time. So when I went to her concert, like Vincent and I had VIP early access, so we were literally like the second row from the stage.
Whoa.
And I held her hand. That's like, the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me. And she sang the song, and I cried to that too. So lots of crying at concerts. But I guess like a story about Umi is we were in like the second row, and we were actually there with like a friend that we knew. And there are these like two girls that literally like use their knowledge of BTS. Like they like talked to my friend about like knowing BTS, like literally out of nowhere. And because of that, they're like, oh my god, like who's your ultimate bias? Like, who's your favorite BTS person? And they use that as a reason to cut right in front of me and just, like, stay there. And then, like, their other friends kept trying to find ways to, like, cut up in front of them, too. It was, like, really annoying. And, like,
and
one of her friends came over. Dude, I really wanted to. Umi is about good vibes. So I was like, oh, I can't. But like, yeah, like she had a friend who like would come over and was like, and she like would audibly say, oh my god, like, do you have the phone charger? I need to charge my phone. And then she would just like stand there. And like, I swear she wasn't charging her phone. And then this girl next to me was like, are you gonna keep staying there? And she's like, oh yeah, like I need to just charge my phone. But like once it starts, I'll like pull you in. And I was so annoyed, but all that matters is that Umi reached over them to touch my hand.
Hey. Let's go.
That's
she could sense the bad vibes coming out of it. Right?
Exactly. And they were like recording on their phone the whole entire time. And like, I just feel like if you're in the front, like you should like take some time.
Be in the moment,
to, like,
yeah.
Be in the moment, yeah. And so like they were literally right in front of the stage, and I was like, you're just gonna record the whole time, but. That's besides the point. That was definitely my best.
Yeah, how did you record the whole time but still needed the phone charger? That's crazy. It's a really good battery life. Do you have any future concerts planned in the coming months or?
Yeah. So actually in August, I'm going up to New York to see Joe Hisaishi. He is the composer for all the Studio Ghibli movies, and so, yeah, I'm super excited. I'm probably gonna cry to that too.
Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing.
Like, I don't think our seats are that great, but like, just being able to be there and like hear him like compose or like do all the composing like live, like I'm literally gonna freak out. So that's coming up, and then I have like some in September. I'm going to see this like singer-songwriter artist called like named Lizzie McAlpine. She was just like really cool acoustic guitar stuff, and if you know me, like that's literally what I like to listen to. And then there's like Nikki, who's part of 88 Rising, and then I think in October I'm seeing Joji. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Damn, bro, what's
my
a
brother?
That's wild.
Yeah, that's a great lineup. What?
I agree.
Yeah. So lots of music. Would definitely recommend seeing concerts live. Like, it's just good energy.
Yeah.
And when you hear your favorite songs, it's incredible.
Do you have any lined up, Vida?
Not as of now. I'm trying to go to my first festival still. I haven't been to any. And
Oh, you know what?
Outside Dance is like literally in
Yeah,
our
I was about to
backyard. So
I was about to say, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one.
I'm gonna go on Sunday, I think, but I haven't bought tickets yet. But yeah, I went to a couple concerts in San Francisco so far. I feel like it's really easy to get cheap tickets just because there's like so many concert venues and they just kind of like roll through every once in a while and you can just like snag one for $40.
Yeah.
But I haven't been to like an amazing experience yet, so I'm looking forward to OSL. What about you, Haran? Have you been to any in the area?
I didn't go to any concerts, and there was one that I wanted to go to, but I didn't know anyone that knew the band, so I didn't go. It's like this Indian like R&B kind of pop kind of group based out of North Carolina. And they were like it was like their first time. Western Estate, yeah, I'll say their name.
Oh, wait, you saw that?
No, I didn't. I wish I did.
Oh,
You should have just went alone, man.
I could have. I really could have gone alone. But I really like their
tough,
music.
yeah.
And it's the first time touring, so it'd been like really cool to like go see him. But I'm sure like they'll be going more tours in the future. The concert that like probably the biggest impact on me was I think like probably my first ever concert, which was Coldplay. But I went to Philadelphia like in 2016 now.
Wow.
And like I still think back to that concert because Coldplay is like one of my favorite bands of all time. And I got a concert they perform like all their like hits. I mean they have so many hit songs, but they performed like all their hit songs over the years. And just being there, and it was like such a nice day, and it was like right at night, and like the weather was nice, and it was like a nice outdoor stadium. Yeah, that's like a really high bar because like I think that was my first concert, and I was like, holy shit, concerts are amazing. And then I've been to like some okay ones since, but that one I think was definitely my favorite. So
Like the
far.
Beyonce concert you went with Bhavana too?
No, that was a good concert too.
Oh, okay.
But
I thought you didn't like her.
not like Beyonce.
Bhavana, I mean.
Oh yeah.
I was about to say.
no, we don't like that.
Trying to think what other ones. Yeah, the other one that stood out was this indie band from Australia. It's called Last Dinosaurs. They're like I think they've been making music since like 2012-ish, but they were touring in the US like 3 years ago now. And they grew up in DC, so me and my sister went to that, and like that one was like the first like small venue concert I've been to, and that was a lot of fun too. Because I guess I was only really used to like big crowds, but this one was like a small crowd, and like everyone like really knew their music well. So like it was just like kind of cool to just be like in the moment with all these people that I didn't know. But I was like talking to them, and like people were saying like, oh yeah, I've been following them around for like 6 different venues now. And I was like, holy shit! Like, how do you have the time to just be following a band around? That's crazy. Yeah, and I thought I was a big fan. That's when I realized there's levels to following these these small bands. But yeah.
Yeah, honestly. When do you guys think you had like your music glow ups? Like I feel like there's a certain point where you're just like listening to what everyone else is listening to, and then you like hit like a year or a couple years where you're like, damn, like I have my own music taste, and you start getting into like other shit.
I think for me, my music taste glowed down, honestly. Because
at least you're honest about it.
like middle school, like early high school, I would listen to a lot of what my brother listened to, which was like Coldplay, Breaking Benjamin, One Republic, The Fray, The Script. I don't even know like what genre necessarily that is. I guess
that's some sad boy stuff.
It is sad boy, but they have a bunch of bangers, like especially Coldplay and One Republic.
Yeah.
I used to like like on the bus ride to school, because this was before I had like an iPhone and like a big playlist or anything like that. I had like I don't know like 50 something songs on my phone, and it would go through the same like rotation every day, right? And I would go to sleep with my head against the window, and based on the song that was playing, I could wake myself up to when we just got to school. It was like the most insane
That's kind of
thing
crazy.
ever. But yeah, then after that, that's when I used to use like Pandora and shit, bro.
I was gonna say, yeah. I remember you told me you used to be a Pandora boy.
The OG recommender. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So dog shit now. I went back to it recently. So weird. It's terrible. Don't use it ever. I'm sure no one does really. I'm sure it's like basically done for. But anyway,
It's like buried. Yeah.
Yeah.
what was I saying? Oh yeah, so back then I used to listen to all that type of stuff, and then later in high school, because like my friends and stuff, I think listened to a lot more like hip hop, R&B, which I like. But I think at this point, like, that's still like mostly what I listen to, and I'm so tired of it. And also, a lot of the time that I used to like listen to music was like commuting, like whether going to class or like doing a lot more homework or driving or whatever. And I don't really do a lot of that anymore. So I guess I don't like have it's not that I don't have the time, but I just don't have like the opportunity to like branch out, I guess. Yeah.
That's so interesting you said that, because I just like took it for granted that everyone listens to music like all the time. And then I met like one of my current roommates who lives with me, and she just like straight up doesn't listen to music. And she was like, I don't get it. Like, when do you have time to listen to music? I'm like, you're kidding. Like, pull up your Spotify Wrapped. Let me see what you have. It was like collective the entire year was 500 minutes, and the top artist was Carly Rae Jepsen.
No,
I'm like, there's no way.
No.
I'm like, what? She was like, oh, my friend just told me to listen to one of her albums, and then after that, I never touched music again.
Okay, wait, hold on. Who's telling anyone to listen to a Carly Rae Jepsen
That would be such
album?
a fire album review. I someone who listened to this album and I never listened to music ever again for the rest of the year.
No, but I think she was saying the same thing. She was like, I just don't have the opportunity to. Like, if I'm on a run, I'm listening to podcasts, and she works from home, so she doesn't have a commute. So she's like, I just don't get when you listen to music. And it just, like, shifted my whole worldview. I was like, what? Like, how does she just, like, live without music?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, that's insane.
Different lifestyle, I guess.
No, I was like, I think in high school, I think 50% of high school I had my headphones in. Like, if I like wasn't in class, like just like walking around, I would always listen to music. I love music, like probably like my whole life. But I think like I started to like, because I used Spotify from the get-go, like in like middle school. But even then I was still like just like listening to the pop music. But I think like by freshman year I started like that's when I met like indie music, you know. And then like I branched out into like R&B from there, and like house music, EDM music. But I think high school I think is when I listened to the most. And in college I didn't listen to, like, I feel like nowadays I don't really, I like still like rely on my playlist because I have so many. But I feel like I've done a pretty poor job of like adding to them. I think I need to like start exploring more. Because I think indie music is my favorite, but like I feel like indie music peaked in like high school, middle school, our time, and like it's kind of like on the downturn now. At least that's how I feel. So it's like kind of sad for me to like go try to find new music because it doesn't hit the same anymore. But R&B is still like I think as good as ever. So like that's like kind of like what I listen to more now.
I feel like I had the wackest, like, I don't even know if I glowed up or glowed down. I just had like, I feel like I just like listened to everything because when I was in middle school, I literally, like, that's when my K-pop phase started. I was like ahead of the trend, if you will. Because like when I was growing up, like I feel like I listened to a lot of like random stuff on YouTube and like K-pop. And then when I got to middle school, I would like kind of like hear stuff on the radio, like all like the basic pop stuff. Like Justin Bieber. And then but I was never like a believer because I had like all this K-pop stuff that I like liked more. And then when I got to high school, something like shifted and I only listened to indie music. And by indie it was just probably like Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran and like a few like other things that like now when I think back it's like still very basic. It's like Arctic Monkeys, like the 1975, like every like all the basic Tumblr girl stuff.
Yeah.
And then like
Relatable.
I like was like I thought I was so different because I only listened to indie music. And then one day I like kind of started listening to trap and like rap and hip hop. And that like I guess like that kind of like slowly segued into college, into kind of like R&B and just like still like back to my indie roots. But I think that's kind of like where I am now, where I just listen to a lot of like indie alternative and like R&B. But something that I've been thinking about lately, I feel like I talked with someone, is like you guys are right. Like I feel like it's so hard to like discover music now because we don't commute. We don't really like sit in the car and like do much that like does that. And like I feel like when we were younger, a lot of the stuff we heard was like through the radio or like from like older siblings, friends. And now I feel like everything is like through TikTok. Like that's so literally like the only way I like hear new songs. And like it also happens when I like least expect it. Like it's just like it'll be playing and I don't realize the song is like in my brain, but then I just like know the song. And then when I hear it through Spotify, I'm like, damn it, it's a TikTok song. Like, so it's just like crazy to me how like we kind of like discover music now. It's like a lot different
Yeah,
than like when we were in middle school.
sure.
And something about like finding a TikTok song on Spotify makes it like lower value, and I don't know why. Like as soon as I find out it's a TikTok song, I'm like, shit, skip. Like even if I really like the song.
It's so sad.
I watched like this Twitch streamer, and like he doesn't like use TikTok that much, but like whenever like a TikTok, like he just played like Spotify playlists, but then like if he played the TikTok song, like someone in the chat would be like, the chat would just spam like TikTok song, and the streamer gets like so fucking mad. He's like, I don't use TikTok. Like, like how is it? Like it would be like he'd be playing like an old school playlist, and it'd be like like promiscuous girl or something, and then there'd be like TikTok song. He's like, how the fuck is the TikTok song? He's like, this song was big when I was a kid. Like, what the hell do you mean the TikTok song?
No, but that's so true though. Like that's how like I think Dreams by Fleetwood Mac became big. The TikTok of the guy, and then everyone's like, oh my god, this is like so incredible. And I was like,
bro, this song's been out for like 40 years, bro.
Actually, I saw a TikTok today where the kid Leroy, he's doing a Rocketeer like sample, and the first comment was like, bro, I'm definitely getting real old now. Like they're sampling Rocketeer already. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, that doesn't feel like an old song at all.
Wait, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, Rocketeer's like 10 years old now.
Yeah,
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's a fire song.
Yeah.
It is
Great
a good
song.
song.
What was that? 2010. Great pop music.
I also feel like nowadays with music, there's just like so many more like layers to it. Like if you listen to old music versus now there's like beat switches, like 15 different people, like ad libs, this, that, and the other. And then like on TikTok, they pick like the best beat drop portion or whatever, like that like syncs to music. So it's like fast cuts and like whatever. And like, it's just like a lot.
Yeah, I like hated Jack Harlow's like one song because of the way TikTok like just like it was like the glamorous sample.
Yeah.
First
But then
class.
when I actually went to go listen to his album, I was like, oh,
Dude,
this
he
actually,
wasn't
like,
even-
isn't bad.
He wasn't even trying on that song. Like
Yeah.
I think
he
he
wasn't.
had the hook, and then like if you listen to the whole song, he's like half of it's just like him like and like he would just like say like a one line and be like
Those are
like,
the ad libs.
it's just like him. He's just buying himself time till the hook comes back in. He's like, okay, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
I saw him in
gosh.
concert and I was like not super impressed. And it made me so upset because I thought it would be amazing. And it was just like, he would just like play a bunch of old shit too. Because I think everyone only knows like Glamorous and like some of the new stuff that he made. And he'd like keep playing these super old songs and be like, yeah, if you're a real one, you'll know this. And like the whole place was like dead silent. I'm like, no one's a real one. Just play the ones that you know and be like that's it.
That's so sad, actually.
Yeah.
Because you think like if you actually like him, then you would go back and like listen to some of his other stuff. But I
That's
guess they
true.
don't. They just like TikTok him. Because a lot of them are simps now as well, right? Especially for like Jack Harlow's like the new white guy to simp for.
Yeah.
Free simp material.
Funny that you
I don't
mentioned
know
that,
why.
Tarun. It's funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because so we were doing some talking, and so when I was in SF, this question was posed to me in terms of females. We might hit the females first, but females second, but we're gonna do the male artists first. Essentially, we had like a list of like a bunch of male artists based on attractiveness and music quality. Jack Harlow was on the preliminary list, but he was eliminated actually before this episode. So I guess that's good based on what we're talking about right now. But anyway, what it's going to be is I'm going to list out five male artists, and you two are going to rank them both on attractiveness and music quality.
Oh, this is fun.
Separately. Okay.
Okay,
So the
okay.
list that we've come up with was Bad Bunny, Drake, Zayn, A$AP Rocky, and Justin Timberlake.
Oh god, I feel like I need to write this down.
You want to
Okay.
text it in the chat.
Honestly.
Should we do so attractiveness and music quality is separate?
Yeah,
so
separately.
We can do attractiveness first.
Oh god, I feel like I haven't listened to like enough music by each of these people.
Who was the
You can do it based on what you know.
Who was the third
Was it
guy?
Zayn,
Can
Bad
I look
Bunny,
up Bad
Drake,
Bunny?
Zayn, yeah.
JT,
Oh,
What was the
this is
fourth one?
hard.
Zayn, Bad
Justin
Bunny,
ASAP.
Justin Timberlake, Drake, A$AP
Drake,
Rocky,
A$AP, yeah.
I think I have my list for attractiveness.
That was quick. Okay.
Well, I think Zayn first for sure, bro. That man's chiseled
Hands
as hell,
down.
bro. Have you seen his jawline? I swear it's like it's fucking like perfectly like I don't know, like parallel or perpendicular to his like nose like angle. It's crazy, man.
That man was
That's
crafted
like-
by God. He's just beautiful.
Yeah.
He's beautiful. I was never a One Directioner, but if I were, Zayn would be my top man.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then I think it has to go A$AP Rocky next. And then I think Drake.
Wait, are we doing attractive?
Yeah,
that's
attractive.
attractive.
Oh, Emily's questioning the list.
She's like,
Hold
your
on, wait. I have
opinion's
to look up a
wrong.
picture of that. But didn't you guys love when Drake had a heart in his hair? That was so cool.
I was never a Drake person.
I was saying Drake, when
so-
Drake got the beard, like it was definitely an upgrade on his look, I would say. I think he's better with the beard.
That's
than
true.
Mm-hmm.
He looks more mature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like Bad Bunny actually, so I guess I'll just go Drake, JT, and Bad Bunny because Bad Bunny looks kind of all right.
Oh my god, I think Bad Bunny is attractive.
I think Bad Bunny
He's
is
a
good
pretty
looking dude.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, he's like a good looking dude, but like he's just not my type, you know.
I'm sorry, Drew.
I see. You're only into older men like Drake.
And JT.
What's your list, Emily?
Yeah, that man's got flamed. My list, I definitely put Zayn at the top.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like struggling because I do think Bad Bunny's attractive, but like I know A$AP Rocky more.
Hmm.
So it'd probably be A$AP Rocky and then Bad Bunny and then Drake and then Justin
Why
Timberlake.
do you guys hate Justin? What do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, I was
think I'm a
gonna say
little
Justin Timberlake was higher on my list.
I need to look up
I guess-
Justin Timberlake Prime actually.
I'll go next. Mine is Zayn, A$AP, Justin Timberlake, A$AP Rocky, Drake.
Interesting.
Damn,
Yeah,
A$AP
I
Rocky
don't-
fourth? That's crazy,
Yeah,
bro. Have you
that's
seen him
kind of a
smile?
hot take.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was like a toss up with A$AP and Bad Bunny, but yeah.
He's not his type.
Okay,
Get
come
out
on.
of here.
That's just a
Why is that labeled the
I just
prime
showed-
of Justin Timberlake?
No, he got like roasted for something in the water, and I think that's why I'm like biased because I just think he's a meme now.
Yeah.
Sorry, JT, you had your time.
Yeah. Actually, he's still popping off though, low-key. He still comes out with stuff, which is pretty crazy.
He does?
Yeah, every once in a while, I feel like he features on stuff or something like that, or helps with production, I think.
All right, Beta, you got your list.
Yeah, I would say number 1, Zayn. Number 2, I'd say A$AP. Then number 3, probably Bad Bunny. And then JT, and then Drake. For whatever reason, Drake is like such a turn off to me, and I don't know why. And I think the fact that people really like him, like the more someone expresses they like Drake, the more I dislike him, and I don't know why.
That's fair. That's
But
fair.
no one simps for Drake though, right?
I think
I
people
feel like
do.
people
Hope
sim for
not.
Drake. I mean, I don't, but
think
I don't know,
it's
man.
just
When Drake was at DC and he said, "Where my DC girls at?" I heard some crazy like screams from these girls out there, bro. Including Helen, who was standing right next to me. She was going crazy.
I forgot Helen was crazy.
called out, yeah.
Aubrey.
Oh my god.
All right, so now I guess we have to do it for musically talented.
Yeah, musically is gonna be tough. Man.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel like I'm lacking knowledge, but I'll do my best.
I didn't think about musically or yet.
Wait, I don't like know Bad Bunny's music that much.
Yeah, I just know he's
Yeah,
like
me neither.
really
Definitely listen to his
good.
new album if you haven't yet. So good.
Okay.
It's
Okay,
good.
so
Okay.
my list may be controversial, but I think it's right. Drake, Drake first. JT, A$AP Rocky, Bad Bunny, Zayn. So let me give a little bit of reasoning.
Ooh.
Drake has been in the game for what now, like 12 years at least?
Nah, Drake's a go, man.
Yeah,
Drake's a go
he's
musically.
goated, man. He's still coming out with stuff that like I listen to. Like his new album.
You're saying that new
I'll-
album was
I'll say
good? Really?
No.
Okay.
No. Don't put words in my mouth. No.
Speak for yourself, sir. No.
I was gonna say like even though on his new album there's probably only like 2 or 3 songs that are like max, like he's still coming out with stuff that I listen to like actively. And then JT, I feel like there's a lot of songs that I'm able to like go back to and listen to. Like one that I go back to often is Carry Out, because that was just a funny song, but it's really good. Also, Timbaland is on it. Timbaland production is unreal.
Yeah, facts.
So JT, then ASAP Rocky. I think I listened to him the most out of the rest of them, and yeah, I think he just has like a cool swagger in his music. And then Bad Bunny, I just feel like objectively, even though I don't listen to a lot of Latin music, I think anytime I do listen to Latin music, it's him and I like it. So yeah, it probably has to be him. And then Zayn, I don't, did he even release music individually apart from One Direction? I don't even know. So he's just
he did.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to send you some stuff.
Oh, you're a little harsh, man.
There's only one brown boy on the block, and that's Nav. Okay.
Facts.
Yeah.
I'll go next. Drake was the number one for me. Just totality of all his work combined. There's been some misses. I won't lie. But I think just for everything he's released over there, like he's been in the game since 2008. It's like 14 years. Yeah, it's crazy. Then I would probably go Justin Timberlake as well. Just growing up, I feel like he had so many bangers. For something, I have a very vivid memory of me like in a hotel watching like "Sexy Back," like the music video in like the hotel room, and I was like, I don't think I should be watching this. I was like, I should not be watching this.
Poor memories.
That's a good song though. Anyway, and then see, I have a pickle with A$AP Rocky because I like his music. I like his music, but like I feel like he hasn't released enough.
That's right.
For like how long he's been out, and two. I mean, like, Long Live A$AP is a really good album, but I feel like the albums since then have like kind of gone down in quality in my opinion. Like, there's been some good songs in the albums afterward, but like that album was really good, and then it kind of was like okay albums after that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's a lot of potential there, but he just doesn't release that much music. And based on recency bias, I think I might put Bad Bunny above him. Also, Bad Bunny is fucking massive,
Huge.
like right now, he's huge right now.
Huge.
So I think I'll put him third. And then A$AP Rocky, and then Zayn. I like Zayn a lot. Like Zayn has a really good voice. Like I've heard some of his singles, and it's good. But I guess it's more on me because I haven't listened to a lot of his music. But I feel bad putting him there because I know he's a good singer. Emily, I'm sorry.
Damn. Well, I mean, I think the way that I'm rating this is very differently from you guys. Like, I am definitely doing it based on like how talented I think they are.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Their voice, and also it's kind of influenced by like how often I listen to their music too. So I would put Zayn first because I do think his voice is really good and he's really talented. Like, the reason I liked him was because when he was on that One Direction song, You and I, he hits that falsetto, and that's when I knew. I was like, oh my god.
Shot him straight to verse.
Straight to the
That
top.
one note.
One falsetto.
And like, I wish he would make more music, but like, I didn't like listen to his like one album like that religiously, but like I did like it, and there's definitely a few songs by him that I enjoy because like he's got that like smooth like R&B voice. But also
I have a question.
really
Do
nice
you
vocals.
You prefer Zayn over Harry Styles like solo careers, or what do you which one do you like better?
Ooh.
Oh, that's so hard. I would actually pick Harry Styles though because like I think like
He wears skirts.
he has like I mean, yeah. We love Harry Styles. I think he's also really talented, and like I also like his music, and like he has I think more range of things that I like, but like it's hard because like I do think they're both talented, but like they are in different genres of music. So
Okay, but now compare it to who's the one that really stripped that down for me? What song? Who was that? Liam Payne?
oh god.
Oh,
I've seen the TikToks of him doing it at fucking Macy's so many times.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Macy's?
so confused. Yeah, like girls will like apparently like line up for him to do his little Macy's concert, and like the biggest thing he does is he jumps. He just jumps, and all the girls start screaming. It's so weird. Yeah. Again, I wasn't like a One Directioner, but I think of like all of them and like their single or like their solo stuff. Liam is like the worst. Like,
Yeah.
His music is shit. Like
That was the one that needed the boys back.
Honestly.
Like the other ones
Yeah.
could have gone without him, but
He also
Yeah.
he's been recently
Yeah.
like talking a lot of shit about the other guys, like especially Zayn,
Really?
I think, right? So yeah,
I think it's to stay relevant, you know.
yeah, that's fair.
okay, but also it's on like what Logan Paul's like podcast, right?
Yeah, my boy.
Isn't it? Yeah. So like no.
Mm.
That tells me everything I need to know. But no, I think like Harry is a lot more work. So in that respect, I would like choose him.
Yeah, Harry was
I
also
still
on the
love
preliminary list. I feel like maybe we could have kept him, but I felt weird having two One Direction members on.
Yeah.
There. I think they should have been.
Yeah.
But after Zayn, I would put Justin Timberlake actually, because I do think he's really talented. He has a really good voice, and his voice is also really unique, which is why I think he did so well with his like solo career.
Yeah.
Even though he's a meme now, he's still kicking it somehow.
I feel like
He's still
Justin
got it in
Timberlake.
him.
I feel like Justin Timberlake. I didn't really know like the voice he possessed until like the album that had mirrors on, like in like freshman year of high school.
Yeah,
the album was
that-
really
that's a
good, and
good-
like like just
that's
the whole
good.
album, like he was really like in his bag. I would say, yeah.
Yeah, I used to listen to just like Cry Me a River like all the time.
But Cry Me a River is a good song.
Throwback,
It's a good song.
That is a good song.
And that song that he has at Jay-Z, I forget which one it's called, but yeah, he has good stuff for sure, and he has a good voice. So I put him second.
Are you talking about Holy Grail?
Yeah,
kid, yeah.
that one. Third. Oh my god. Who are the other options again?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
Drake. A$AP Rocky.
Oh god. Okay. I would
Combined last.
Come on.
I would actually put Drake because, according to some of my Spotify Wrapped, I did listen to him a lot for whatever reason. So, I do think he's talented, and obviously he has managed to stay relevant for like forever. So, he has good stuff. His new album is interesting, for sure, but
Speaking of
It's-
Macy's,
it's
that's definitely
fine.
Macy's music.
yeah, Macy's music. Some of them just like don't listen to the lyrics, and it'll go over your head.
Yeah.
So Drake, A$AP Rocky, because like I listen to his stuff. Bad Bunny, unfortunately, at the end, because like I don't listen to him that much. But I'm
I
sure
hope
he's
Jackie
also
doesn't
very
listen to this
talented.
episode.
I'm so
Like
sorry,
Bad Bunny. Oh,
Jackie. I'm so sorry. I do like him, just in this scenario.
It's tough. It's a tough list. It's a tough list.
Vida, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
So I would say, for all the shit I talk about Drake, I also put him first. I feel like he's artistically like really strong. Plus he's like he was before A$AP, and I think he like helped him come up. So I feel like he deserves to go before A$AP. Yeah. I think another thing I like about Drake is like he made rap more like accessible. Like people who didn't like rap still like listening to Drake, which I don't think you can say about like A$AP or some other like mainstream rappers. So I put him first.
Yeah.
And then number 2, I put A$AP. I just like that he has a lot of variety. Like he has like really hard rap,
Yeah.
and then he has more like chill, like R&B, hip hop, which I really like. And then I put Justin Timberlake just because he was like so defining of our like childhoods. I feel like I just saw him a lot everywhere. So he was kind of like the symbol of pop for a really long time for me. And then I put Zayn, unfortunately. I think he's really good. I just like don't think he's that. I don't know. Like
Good.
he had a couple bangers, but he didn't really like make a presence for himself. He's not like a brand the way like Harry Styles is. So I put him 4. And then I didn't rank
That's
Bad Bunny
true.
because I feel like I didn't listen to enough of his music. Thought it would be inappropriate to just throw him to the end. So that was it.
Oh,
But you did, so
Can I be
Well, you did
on
anyway. We don't accept it. We don't accept you not ranking him.
All right, I want to
Right.
curate an
Automatic
album of
4.
Bad Bunny stuff so I can get hip.
Jackie, I know you're listening to this. Send it to us. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Jackie.
Oh my gosh.
We won't actually rank the female artists because I think the other stuff that we might want to talk about to finish off this episode. But I'll just tell you guys the 5 female artists that this original question was made. It was, I'm trying to remember, Beyonce, Shakira, Doja Cat, Ariana Grande,
Oh.
and who am I missing? Sure.
Beyonce.
I said Beyonce already. Oh, Rihanna.
Rihanna.
I'll have to pick Rihanna.
Oh.
Yeah, Rihanna's the last one.
That's so tough.
That's
Oh my
hard.
Yeah,
god.
yeah, that one was rough.
That's really hard.
So one for you guys to think about, or you two and the people listening to the episode.
Yeah, be sure to leave a comment on this episode post with your rankings so that we can look through all of us.
Yes.
Thank you. That's an interesting discussion. Thank you. Move on.
But yeah, you mentioned you've been living in SF. How long have you been in SF for now?
Me? I've been in San
Yeah.
Francisco since October. I spent a month in July, but then I officially moved in October. So it's been maybe like 8-10 months, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, how's that experience like living on the West Coast, away from home, so far away?
It's been really fun. So far away. It's been really fun. I think I didn't get that experience during college. And I think a lot of people did, where they were like, oh, this is my first venture out into the real world. Like, I have to, like, do my laundry on my own for the first time. Like, all of that was, like, so, like, new and fresh or whatever. And I, like, didn't have that because I was, like, literally just 2 hours south. So I feel like I'm, like, re-experiencing all these milestones that I should have had in my, like, early or, like, late teens, early 20s. But, like, for the first time now as, like, a young adult. So I've had a lot of fun. I really like San Francisco. And I don't know if that's because, like, I actually like San Francisco or I just like being independent and, like, exploring and stuff. Because I, like, tell people, like, how much I love it. And they're like, SF is, like, kind of a shit city. Like, I don't know.
You sure?
And I'm like, no, like, it's amazing. So we'll see. The next move, I'll give you the actual assessment on San Francisco. But right now, I'm just, like, enamored. I love it.
Yeah. No, I had like a similar experience, just like living out on the West Coast by myself. Like, because like, I was like at tech, and I mean, I guess I was further away from home, but I feel like I was still dependent on like my roommates to a certain point, and like, but now like, and when I was at Stanford, I was living by myself, and like just like that independence was like a really like. I thought it was going to be a really bad experience, but it was actually really nice. Like, I feel like I learned a lot about myself, and like I felt more confident in my abilities to look after myself, which I wasn't going into it. So, yeah. Yeah, Emily, you also moved out and live with Emmy now. How has that experience been for you?
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I feel like I'm the opposite of what Vita's experiencing, where it's like it's been really nice to just like move out and like kind of like feel like I'm on my own again. But I think like I guess like what I'm struggling with is like I still feel very close to home in a way. Like I'm still close to my parents. I'm still, you know, probably very close to like random high school people I don't want to see. And, like, there's just like a lot of people in like Northern Virginia. So it kind of also, because like I feel like the beauty of college was like kind of feeling like you're in a completely new place, new environment. But like now that I'm back in Northern Virginia, I kind of feel like like it's like the same bubble. Not that I don't appreciate having all my friends and like family.
Jackie's just punching the screen right now.
I love you, Jackie. No, but it's like I think it's just like hard when you kind of feel like you've been in an area for a long time and like there's no real opportunity for change. So I've loved being in Arlington and like even having like a cat and whatnot, but it still doesn't feel like new or right, which is, I don't know, weird, but it's fine. I'll get out of here someday.
Do you think there were any like surprises that you experienced after moving out that you didn't expect to, either Haran or Emily?
Any surprises?
Yeah, like what living on your own, like in a real house in the real world would be like. That like, wasn't like not a shitty dorm that like a landlord is overcharging you for.
That's a good question.
Wait, would you say you're not overcharged in SF?
Okay, sensitive topic, you're right.
Yeah, I think for me it's been like the experience of actually having to take care of myself, like especially with like grocery shopping and like making food. Like when I was living at home, I definitely have the privilege of like my mom making some of that for me, or at least having like food stocked in the fridge that I could just easily, you know, do myself. And like when we were in college, like I still had like a meal plan, so it was like easy for me to do that. But now I think when I've been on my own, like I have to like plan a day to go do all my grocery shopping, to go do all my chores, and then I have to like make sure I have time in the day to like prep stuff and like cook it. And sometimes that's like a lot because like we're like working and stuff. So I think like the process of like being a human and needing to take care of myself by myself has been like a journey for sure. So I guess that's like a surprise.
Yeah. I guess for me it's kind of related. It's just like the amount of time it takes to meal prep. Like, I mean, like I'm sure if you experience like it, for me it was like the first time really meal prepping. In college, like I started to meal prep towards like the end of senior year. But even then I was meal prepping was like Harsha and Christian. And like at that point, like Christian was like the only one that actually ever cooked. So like he was pretty much just like telling us what to do, and like he was like doing the main stuff, and they were just like helping like prepare like a certain shit. So like it was like an even easier job for me and Harsha. But then like when I came to California, I was like, it was just all me trying to meal prep for myself. So it's like having to do everything, and like it's not even that much when like you really think about it. But like the first time I was like, oh my god, it's a lot of time. But slowly got the hang of it. But the thing is like I meal prep, but I still only meal prep for like half my meals. The rest of like I was still like eating like campus food. So like I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do when I like actually have to like live out in the real world and like have a job. Like how do you meal prep like 2 different meals like for the week? It's just, I don't know. I guess we'll cross that bridge once we get there.
Know.
Yeah, same. I think that's like the worst part of adulthood is having to figure out what to eat 3 times a day. Like you go through all the effort to like get a meal, and then you're like hungry 3 hours later, and you're like, you're fucking kidding me. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. True. How was the experience living at home?
It's amazing, man. I can't say enough good things about it, bro. Family's good, food's good, bed's good.
The dream, really.
Do you like the comfort though? Like, do you want to challenge yourself and move somewhere else?
Oh no, yeah, I absolutely want to go soon. But like, I think a lot of people, they're like, oh, you still live at home, or they have some sort of like mentality like that, and I'm just like, bro, like this is the best thing ever. Like, I don't have to pay rent. I get great food. I can actually spend time with my family. Like I would say the only thing is like it's harder to like have like a social life, I guess, but like even still it's like not that bad. Especially nowadays where like everyone's like working to the week, right? So like you're only going to see your friends on the weekend anyway usually. So it's like that's when I have like more time to like cut out and like make more effort to go see people, which is fine with me. For like I guess like what I'm having in return, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm chilling. Yeah, but I do want to challenge myself. Yeah,
that's an interesting point you make, because I feel like I don't know, I have like this I always have this conception like but people that live in the city that like like I understand your point, like you're free on the weekend, so that's when you make your plans. But I feel like in the city, like if you're like in the city on like on a weeknight, like Peter, do you like make plans on the weeknight, or you just like usually just come home and like do your own thing?
I used to, especially like when I first moved, I would literally have plans like every single day because I was like just trying to like meet as many people as possible. So I would say yes to everything. So like someone would be like, oh, come over for like wine and like game night. I'm like, okay, sure. Come over for taco night. I'm like, okay, sure. Come to like this happy hour bar. Okay, sure. But after a certain point, you get like really burned out. And like, even though you have like the potential of like getting to go places during the week, like you just want to like do your thing, do your routine until you get to like Thursday, Friday, and then you can actually start having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like it's be really easy to burn yourself out, like if you like move to a city.
Yeah.
It's like that pressure that you like, you don't want to just like move to a city and just like stay in your apartment. Like, what's the point then?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I guess you need a balance. Yeah.
Bit of like stimulus overload for sure.
Yeah. So where would you guys want to move next if given the opportunity? Like, where's your eyes set on?
I keep saying New York, so maybe if I say it on this podcast, it'll actually come true.
By the time this episode's released,
people...
Emily will be in New York. Confirmed.
Oh God, that's a little too soon. But yeah, I feel like that's just kind of like a lot of people, like the basic dream of like wanting to be there. But like that was definitely something that I thought of when I was younger. But also because I like lived in Colorado and like that was like the only city I like knew of. So I always like wanted to just like try it out and see, so at least I can like say that I did it. But yeah, so hopefully that's where I'm going next.
Yeah,
that sounds fun. I have like such mixed feelings about New York because I feel like it's so incompatible with my personality. But if all my friends moved there, like in an instant, I'd be like, all right, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
But if like I had to move by myself somewhere, I would probably just like keep exploring California. Like I might go to like San Diego or LA or something.
Oh, San Diego was nice.
Yeah.
Like super low key and like still nice.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I'm trying to go to New York. Hold
on. I would like to go to Austin, honestly. I've heard a lot of good things. I don't know if I just want to go for a vacation or live there, but like I think either would be nice. Like it's a pretty young crowd there.
I could see you in Austin, you know? You have a very Austin vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, that would mean that I'm closer to the annual F1 race in Austin, so I could hopefully
go.
Eventually go.
Yes.
But I'd also like, a part of me is like, I'd be so down to like live like internationally somewhere. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, I really liked Vancouver. Apparently super expensive over there, so maybe not there. But like, I don't know, maybe somewhere in Canada, England. I don't know. I would want to go see Australia again. Just have a random like urge to go see Australia.
See all the Asian people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, all Asian people there.
I could definitely see her on living abroad. So
Yeah.
you should do it.
Go to
You are a
England.
broad
I'll bring
person.
I'm a broad person.
Go live in England so Trun can live out his Anglo. What is it called?
What?
Anglo-Saxon dream.
Anglo-Saxon
Oh,
No.
Anglo-Saxon. Yeah, in it. Yeah, good.
What's the word when you're obsessed with British people?
I forgot. We talked about this, didn't we?
I don't know. Is there a word?
Is it Anglophile or something? Like
Anglophile.
Yeah.
or something like that.
Anglophile.
Yeah, in it.
Anglophile.
Dude, I would love for my kid to have a British accent.
Dude, it'd be
Oh,
so hype.
perfect.
Oh my god. I look forward to that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just make your child grow up in England for a couple of years and then move back here.
Why
And they'll
England,
have-
man?
hopefully-
Just leave him with me, or leave him or her with me for a while, and then they'll get it.
I'll get it from you.
Yeah, they'll just go around saying "in it, bruv, mate."
Oh god.
Speaking of the UK, there was recently a trial there, maybe a few years back, and there was a second portion to that trial here in the US, the Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard case. I know, Emily, we talked about this briefly before, but I'd love to know your thoughts about it.
Oh. Wow, this
Well, it's also very topical because, the trial happened in Virginia, of course.
Yes,
And
yes.
we are.
Emily
three
went
of
to go
three of
watch
the four
it.
of us are in Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Emily was front seat
Yeah.
courts. Front court
Oh
seat.
my God.
She was the judge, actually.
Yeah, she was the judge.
So you want to hear just my general thoughts?
Yeah. And you could pop off
Okay.
as well. I know you're popping off before.
Well, I think when I first heard about it, like, I definitely was like, oh, I think, like, an important thing from this is, like, to bring awareness to, abuse that can happen to men. Because I do definitely think that goes, under the radar a lot. And it's definitely not talked about as much as it should be. And so that's kind of just, like, the mentality I had. So even when the case first started in Virginia, I was just like, oh, like, whatever, like, we should side with Johnny, blah, blah, blah. But then as I honestly, like, didn't try to keep up with the case. Like, I unfortunately just got so many TikToks about it. And there's just so many, like, opinions on through the internet. And so I guess, like, I actually kind of felt more inclined to hear both sides of the stories, because I think more often than not, you also do hear that, like, women's stories are often, like, looked down upon. And in this case, it was very severe, where, like, people were literally, like, making memes about her and shitting on her. And so, like, the more that I thought about it, I was like, this, regardless of, like, what really happened, like, it just sounded terrible on both sides. But it's just, like, really sad to see how much, like, shit people are giving, like, Amber Heard. And I think, to me, what was scary is that there's already, like, a problem with, like, people not believing women in general.
Yeah.
And so whether or not she was telling the truth or not, it just, like, sucked that this was just going to add on to that. And so something I read about recently, which kind of comes from this, is, like, the case between Marilyn Manson and Evan Rachel Woods. It's the same shit where, like, he is, like, suing her for defamation for, like, accusing him of, like, all these horrible things.
Yep.
And there's, like, so many gross people on the internet being like, oh, like, she's friends with Amber Heard, like, she sucks, she's a liar, and just so many people jumping to that conclusion when, like, no one knows the full story.
Yeah.
And I think it's just these, like, toxic relationships and abusive relationships that does happen from both sides. Like, it's just, like, really sad that it kind of got sensationalized the way that it did, and was, like, all over TikTok, all over the internet, people claiming to think that they're, like, lawyers analyzing it. And so
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, like, yeah, it, like, sucked for both of them, but, like, I think it's just, like, really scary that it's just, like, another thing for people to use against women,
Yeah.
and even men maybe in the future, to just be like, oh, like, they're just lying.
Yeah. Yeah, like the more and more, like I didn't like watch that much of like the trial, but of what I watched, I was like scarred. Like the stuff I was hearing, like they were just such a toxic relationship between the two of them, and like even though Johnny was a victim, like Amber was also a victim. I feel like
Yeah.
like it was like a lot of like just like bad stuff going between the two of them, and yeah, like, basically what Emily was saying, like it felt like going in, like there was a lot, like everyone's like, oh, like Johnny's innocent, and like the more I watched, I was like, I would expected more people to be like, okay, like to like have the same conclusion that I got, like whereas like both these people are in the wrong here, like let's not like shun either of them, like let's just like let it be, and but like the more I like was on TikTok and like reading on Twitter, like the more defense I saw for Johnny, and like the more attack on Amber's character, and it's just like it's just like kind of sad to see that like people didn't really like I guess, I mean, maybe like they were watching the trial and that's the conclusion they came to, but even if they were like it's just a shitty situation, and yeah, I really hope it doesn't discourage people from like speaking out on these abusive relationships, because it's a really lonely situation to be in. Like you feel like you're trapped and you don't know who to talk to, and like especially if you like come out and see all this like flack that Amber's getting, like I'm sure you're gonna like be too scared to speak out. So yeah, really unfortunate.
Yeah, another parallel I can think of is all the stuff with Elizabeth Holmes and her company, Theranos. It's like the same thing where like one bad egg can reflect poorly on like all women. And now it's like the next woman who wants to start a business or something, she needs to be careful to like not look like, you know, the one role model that like women had of like starting businesses, because like she was an example of like someone who didn't really have like moral character to be able to do that. So I think it's like the same thing with like Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. But yeah, I feel like it's also just another example of like classic cancel culture of like people just like want to take a side and express their opinion and just like watch someone's like downfall essentially. And it's like crazy how much power people have in masses when like each individual like doesn't really have that much power. But like when everyone on TikTok is talking about it and everyone on Twitter is talking about it and they're all taking the same side, suddenly like that feels like a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that heavily. And I think another thing is like a lot of where we put our opinions and stuff obviously is like social media, right? And on social media nowadays, if you have an opinion, you're just going to be shown more of that opinion basically. So there's like not very much opportunity, I feel like, for people to even like hear the other side. That's why like when you hear about these like what are those people, like QAnon, like those weird ass like Trump supporters that are like almost a part of like a cult, like all their information is like from Facebook, and they're like, oh yeah, like God sent this guy named Q to like tell us to invade you know, the capital or whatever, all this crazy shit. And it's like there's somebody that's like basically like sending out like some weird Facebook posts on their wall to like basically, I don't know, manipulate these guys in some sort of weird way. I don't know why, but like that's just like how I feel. Like everything gets echoed and blown out of proportion.
Yeah.
No, that's a super good point. I kind of like forgot about like the algorithms are so specific now. Like if you're on like that side, like you're probably bound to see like stuff like that. Because like I get that a lot on TikTok too, where sometimes like it's like everything that I see is so like curated for me. Like I can't imagine if I'm like someone who just believes like the complete opposite. Like they definitely see some like different shit. Like that. Oh my God.
Like even like on any app like Twitter and Instagram now, like they're just like forcing suggested posts like down your fucking like literally my whole timeline suggested posts these days, and I'm like, I don't want to stop. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to fix that at Meta?
I do have friends working on like content integrity, so making sure like the stuff that is on Facebook is like high quality and like not inflammatory and stuff like that. But I am unfortunately not involved. I did start a new team this week though, so I'll be working with creator monetization, which I think is super cool.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that'll make creators money, so it'll be great.
Can you monetize my account?
Send me your profile, girl. I got you.
It's only on Instagram Reels.
Oh my God.
No TikTok.
No, I'm on the Facebook app.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, it is pretty sad because like working for a social media company, you can like see a lot of like really good stories that come out of having voices be amplified, because like people who like don't have a voice in the first place like suddenly have a platform, and like people can share and like and whatever it is, and like get people help and bring people together and like all that like, you know, gooey stuff that like makes you feel great. But like there's like the flip side of the coin where like that same power can be amplified for people who like don't have opinions that are conducive to, you know, a happy society and all of that.
Yeah.
I remember when we all just posted squares to Instagram and went about our happy days.
Yeah, like my status for truth is so innocent.
Like my status for sure.
Yeah. Like for TBH, right?
Yeah.
Simpler times.
Bring those back.
Honestly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well, I think that's a somewhat positive and interesting topic to end on for this episode. We definitely want to thank Vida and Emily for coming on today. We ran pretty late this time. I feel like an hour and a half. That's usually longer than we run. So it's definitely a good conversation. Definitely check them out on all of their social medias, which we will link so that Emily can get her sponsorship from Meta. Before we end, is there anything that you guys want to plug as a message, or anything that you want to say, anything at all?
Just want to say thanks for having us. This is a lot of fun. It's my first time on the podcast, so I really enjoyed it.
Let's go, Emily.
Yes, thank you for having me for a third time. Always appreciate getting to be on the podcast and getting to talk with you guys with some very good, interesting discussions, and honored to be on it with one of my longest Virginia friends and best friend, basically. So, yeah, thank you.
Love you, Emily.
I love you too.
So wholesome.
Yeah, way too wholesome.
Way too wholesome.
Yeah, so be sure to check us out on Instagram at An Interesting Discussion. We're also on all platforms where you can get a podcast. That's Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, SoundCloud, Hulu. Netflix deal is in the works. We'll get there. And then lastly, Vita's putting us on Facebook Reels.
Absolutely.
That's going to be it for today. But yeah, keep in check with our podcast for the next episodes of Summer Sessions. They're going to be really good. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.